just got home. This is beyond tragic. This is beyond tragic. This is horrible. This is so sad. On the timer, when I went on Twitter and opened my phone and saw about 3 or 4, two or three, well, 3 posts of the update, I was gobsmacked and my mouth dropped. I had to honestly, I kind of had to scuffle and catch my breath and, with my eyeballs, keep rereading the title because I was so freaking freaked out and shocked, and it was 1,000, emotions at once. And just to clarify the title that I saw, it said, now the first one I saw said this, it said, oh my God, it says the U.S. Coast Guard announces that a debris field has been found near the Titanic. Now, when I first saw the first couple of words, I kind of like blanked out and started breathing heavy and said, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And it wasn't until like maybe 2 minutes ago, I sat in the car. I went out, sat in the car, and I was even more beside myself. And I said, oh my God, it says debris near the Titanic. And then I was really like, oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit. So I just found this out like 3 minutes ago, 4 minutes ago. Like I literally just saw this. And when I just saw this, it was posted only an hour ago. So I'm breathless. Like I'm breathless. I don't even know how to. There's so much I want to say. There's so many emotions I'm feeling, so many things I want to say, but I'm just beside myself. Like, as soon as I saw the words debris near the Titanic, I'm like, oh my God. What this could literally mean is that maybe somebody could have persuaded or forced the captain, the CEO of Ocean Gate to maybe go inside. I mean, gonna just be straight up and honest with you all. I just think that the reality that they're all dead, like I can't. This is crazy. So about 2.5 days ago, I saw a joke going around that, it could have been caught in the Titanic or some kind of hook or something. And there's been so many theories, not conspiracy. I'm going to say out of respect, there's been so many theories about its demise, what snowballed it to its demise. And in the heat of this moment that just happened, we can honestly, if we wanted to, we can just go on a ledge right now and say that, what if somebody got too close, or what if some part of the Titanic was falling above them? God damn. That would literally explain the banging noises. That would explain it for me. if there's parts of a Titanic, if they're having communication issues or no communication at all, what that could basically translate and mean is that like other explorers that have done the ocean gate or other or other missions have already said that pieces of the Titanic were falling on them too, like that have escaped. Like I've seen at least 2 reports of people that were either journalists or explorers, adventurers, or a little bit of both, film, photography, and they've been invited on these shows to speak about what they think happened to the Titan. And I've heard people say like the Titanic is there, but like just like anything else in the ocean, if you bump into it by mistake, if something falls on you by mistake, like there's nothing you can sorry y'all, this is a lot. If you bump into something by mistake or something falls on you from above, there's nothing you can do. So this is what that was just my automatic thought was, oh shit. If you are telling me that what they say, the frame, you haven't even got to that other headline. I'm just telling y'all in chronological order the headlines I saw when I opened up my Twitter app. What if somebody was like, we paid all this money, go closer, I can't see, go closer, and got a little trigger happy, controller happy, and fucked up the goddamn device to the point where they could have banged into something. Because the fact that this was found near the Titanic, man, this is making me think, y'all, that like something fell on them. And whatever maybe fell could have caused the implosion. Is that how you say it? Implosion? Let me know. Explosion, implosion. Implosion. I said it correctly. Implosion. I came on here past 11 p.m., past midnight, told you all what I was feeling. I stand by it. I felt like there was 2 people possibly that could have still were struggling trying to survive, but inevitably, obviously, if there's an extreme malfunction, there's outside activity going on. I mean, the banging noises, I mean, I don't want to jump to conclusions because they're gone now, RIP. Like, this is the reality, y'all. I hope that the bodies can be retrieved in as most perfect condition as possible for the funeral for these families. But now so far they've not said they found any bodies. We don't even know if they've had any active devices that have even gone down enough or deep enough to not only pick up those artifacts, but the people that were inside. We don't know. This is, what's obvious to me is that the day before yesterday, the day before that, they didn't find any debris. They didn't find anything but the so-called banging noises. So what's obvious to me is that, yeah, the oxygen ran out. It's like a snowball effect, and that obviously caused it to implode. That's just logic sense right now. Logic is saying to me today's when shit went down, y'all. Recently. I think it was recent. And it even could have been to the point where the 2 people who were left, I still feel even within me that they could have even been alive when it imploded. You feel what I'm saying? And they could have been aware that, oh shit, like something, they could have felt something in the walls. We don't know, but I'm just telling you what I feel like. They could have felt something within the walls that maybe they could have started to hear the noises of the actual capsule creaking because it's going to explode. That also could be why there's banging noises, because it's gonna explode, you know? It's the pressure going down so low causes it to give out, give way. But the fact remains is that none of this has come out all these days that have transpired until today, which to me feels like upon the oxygen being depleted is when it gave out. And even worse, they could have felt the creaking, the panic, the cold. They hell, if the whatever see, if there's any way that they could have even seen out from the outside, I mean, not only did you pay for the Titanic experience, but now you've joined them. How can you make that up? And when I heard the word billionaire and we didn't know what the hell was going on, everybody was hoping that they would just kind of come back, sometime in the middle of the morning and pitch black at night, and all this headline would be over. We all thought that from day one, hopefully, it'd be a quick turnaround. And it just got worse. The more information, the more news footage, the more the CEO footage came out, the more we learned about what they play down there and how they control it and how they move it. The story just got gradually worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. And excuse me, y'all, but I am feeling a feeling that I can't even put into words. Just the idea that you have paid to see a ship where over 1,000 people lost their lives tragically, and now you've joined them. And there's an inkling that you are going to be one of those Titanic ghosts. You're going to be the new expedition. That's insane. That's insane. And that's what it's giving me. It's giving me an energy of something falling from above. And sadly, if somebody was cocky enough to get too close and get too excited, all the while, there's no communication from the ships that are supposed to be above helping them find the Titanic, they are screwed. They're screwed. So will they find the bodies? I mean, it's over. There's no survivors. And what's so apparent to me is that one of the eeriest parts about this for me is like, if they even had knowledge that what they were bumping up into or stuck on or hooked on or whatever was the same ship that they paid all this money to go see, and now there's no lights and it's dark and there's low food and water supply and people are cranky and they can't stretch their legs, they can't stand up, they can't text anybody from home, they can't go on FaceTime. Like that's gotta be one of the most eerie, cynical things I've ever heard in my life. It's one of the most creepiest things I've ever heard in my life. To think about, to hear is like, just like them, just like them. They came out with this, well, at least the CEO did, this braggadocious air, unsinkable, unsinkable, you know, nothing can ever stop us. And once again, Mother Nature, Gaia, Planet Kai, God, the universe, smacked all that out of their mouth and said, oh, really? Untouchable, unsinkable, unbreakable. And this news right here confirms that that's not true. And I just, the idea of knowing that you're never going to be on land again, they're never going to see their wives again, is haunting. And all the ghosts and all the cries and all the pets and all the babies and all the men, mostly majority men, again, that died aboard the Titanic, history repeats itself. You know, I even saw something else about how the wife, I don't know if it's true, but there was something I came across where they were saying how the wife of the CEO is great, 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 great related to this couple that was on the Titanic and became a part of the famous stories going around. And I'm like, there's just too many weird connections here, bro. Like, it's creepy. It's creepy to me. And trying to see if there's any pictures. Oh shit. So even more tragic, you all. Even more tragic. It's not going to be found in one piece. It's not going to be found in one piece. It's scattered. And it makes me think that whatever implosion happened, it must, I'm sure, probably out of 80% out of 100, it could have been so horrific that maybe it would not even allow for full bodies to be found intact. I mean, that's the, I mean, there's no upswing to this. There's no silver lining here, guys. Like, the only thing that they can get left right now is as much artifacts, pieces of clothing, if possible, the bodies, the bodies, the bodies, the parts of the bodies, whatever. That is the best that they can get right now from all this. If they're going to continue to search and search for the rest of the day. I don't know. I didn't see the press conference. Oh shit. Okay, so here's what it said. Here's another update. Oh god. 5 major pieces of debris, including the nose cone. Oh shit. See, I was getting that energy. I was watching a couple different videos and I was getting an energy of it being upside down. Like, I was getting that energy. They never confirmed it, but like, I always saw in my visual, when I got the feeling of it, like when I connected to it intuitively, my feeling was always that it was upside down. They were in a position facing all the things around them that would come down. So that, for me, that explains the banging noises. So it says, oh wow, this is like, ooh, this is so sad. Wow. It's a horrible way to go. Okay, let me try to calm down and read this. 5 major pieces of debris, including the nose cone, front end bell of the pressure hull, and aft, which means the back end bell, have been found. Has been confirmed to have imploded upon 3 p.m. press conference. That's, oh, it's recent. I just missed it. But see, people are saying, "Oh, thank God it's quick." And I don't think it was quick, you all. They were down there for a while. They had oxygen supply for a while. So what I'm saying is they could have been trying to stay alive for at least 2 days. Like I'm saying, they've just only found debris today, which means it once the oxygen went out of today is when it imploded. Not yesterday, not the day before. All of this has come to the end of the road today. So I don't believe that it was just an instant implode. I think that shit happened today. Because now that it happened today, it's floating up. You see what I'm saying? Now they actually can visually see the shit. Like yesterday they couldn't see none of that. They couldn't even locate the damn thing. So and there had to be some kind of activity, hence the banging noises, to even locate it. So there's no way that it would have imploded yesterday. It had to be between yesterday late evening and today, and I think it happened today. That's it. Just makes sense. It just makes sense to me. They're saying heartfelt condolences. Wow. My God. All I can honestly say is that if they actually got to see the Titanic and knew that they were gonna not make it back up, that is just history repeating itself, and that is just insanely, incredibly eerie. But not trying to be funny, but you know what? They got to see what they paid for. And I'm not trying to be funny. Like, if that is the case, what they paid for, they got to see. And I'm being genuine. And if that's the case, I'm happy for that part of it. Because they did pay all that money to see it. They didn't pay to die, but they paid to see it. And from what it sounds like is I think they got to see it. So now that it's all said and done, I think that it was the British billionaire, I think, was one of the final two to go. That's what I feel. Now, I told you I wanted to wait until the press conference and the official announcement of no sign of oxygen, no sign of life, and I feel like that I'm gonna get his name. Let me try to find his name. There's one person in particular I feel like had the guts to hold on as much as he could, and who the hell knows, maybe he even felt and saw himself going into the water and then obviously lost consciousness and drowned. That's just a sad reality, guys. They're saying that Titan used as many off-the-shelf components as possible. We believe that they have all been lost. So now the next natural thing is the bodies. That's going to just be, the sad closure that I think the families would need to have. is something of them that was in the water retrieved in as perfect condition as possible. That's like the least. Like if I was the wife of one of them, like that's the least I want. You know, a boot, a locket, fuck, their head, something. And you obviously can't keep the goddamn head. You gotta bury the damn thing. But man, like you want something, man. You want something to be like, wow, this shit really went down. Like obviously I feel the worst for the son. Who doesn't, right? It's the son. I'm looking for his name here. Here he is. Oh my god. I think it's called Hamish Harding. Oh, HH. Yeah, British billionaire Hamish Harding. I think that this guy was one of the last to hold on. I feel that he was mentally strong enough, but I think today was a day. I think we been said that. You know, even I said that from the last video was like they're not gonna make it. Like once the oxygen is gone today, it's pretty much ripped in a bow. Like there's nothing we can do. And it's gonna be interesting to see if they're gonna retrieve anything. You know, I don't know why this thought's coming to my mind. There could be something to this, but you know, what's even more eerie is what if they do find a lot of the parts of the capsule, aka to the CEO submarine, which it was not properly approved and certified. It was a capsule, it was a tin can. What if they want to put this in a Titanic museum? Like, goddamn, what if they want to take artifacts from this shit and make a whole other money grab off this? You know? Like, it's so eerie. You know, now you got all this other footage, all this other, you know, I actually, you know, I'll put this in the video because hell, we're talking about the Titanic, right? And we're talking about the Titan, right? I went to one of the Titanic museums in Orlando. Was it Orlando? Oh, excuse me. I think it was either Naples or Tallahassee. Let me look it up. I went when I was super young with family. I'll tell you guys in a minute. Hold on, if it's even still open. Oh yeah, yeah, it was Orlando. There it is. Artifact exhibition. But I think the one I went to was either in Naples or Tallahassee. Hold on. But it was in Florida. Hold on. I'm going to try to find if I can find it. One is comp in Orlando. Titanic Museum, Florida. God, this is so creepy. Yeah, it was somewhere in Florida. I forgot. It was a while ago, but yeah, when I was young, we bought the actual Titanic DVD in the gift shop. I actually did a exhibition tour of one of the Titanic museums when I was a child, like a, you know, preteen. And I remember them showing us the pictures of the survivors, some that didn't survive, and you know, the footage would play. I mean, it's like such a long time ago, you know. I mean, 1912 compared to 2023, for God's sake. I mean, they dress different, they talk different. The way that the ships operate versus today is totally different. Even, of course, the design, the aesthetic is completely different. It's grand looking, and it has a very kind of harrowing feeling. Even like when you walked into, like, there was a room where they had like a mock iceberg and you could touch it, and it was just ghastly to think about. Truthfully, it's just a very harrowing, haunting feeling. And you know, I just really feel bad for the boy that was caught up in this. It's just a very harrowing, slow curtain, lowered, pitch black kind of feeling, like, the curtain, the final call, curtain call. Like that's a vibe that I got. And it was just very, a lot of parts were very somber, very, very somber. But yeah, there's still a bunch of museums of the Titanic, putting that out here. Yeah, there is. And I actually went to one when I was a pre-teenager, and that's where I bought the DVD. And I think I bought something else, but I was so fixated on the DVD, and I wanted to, pop it in those, back in the day we had those portable DVD players when DVDs were popular. We didn't have Netflix, we didn't have Hulu for all those Gen Z out here and Gen X out here. We had the actual portable, you know what I'm talking about? The portable CD player, the portable DVD player. Like that's what I grew up on, y'all, with the wire headphones and the styrofoam. That's millennials. I'm a millennial. That's what we grew up on. I'm 1995, so I'm like borderline like two generations, but I'm still considered a millennial. I'm 1995. October 1995 for me, not 1996. So, could be in between. But the thing is, now that we know, the verdict of it all, I'm now thinking about when I went to that museum and they had that mock staircase. And there's just something about the picture of that grand staircase that's just so morbid to me. Like, most staircases make you feel elated, make you feel glamorous, but I don't know, something about that Titanic grand staircase is just something about it, man. I don't know. It's just something creepy about it. And even in the pictures you see of it, it just looks like death, and it's grand, it's beautiful, but the energy that comes off of it, even in museums, it feels like death. It feels like cold. It feels like that, and I remember passing it by, and I remember telling I had a couple of friends with me with my family, and I had my stepbrother, and I remember telling them I just want to walk past it. I actually remember there was like a circle table. They had like gifts, they had like products like in a circle around like these different tables, and it had like that kind of old fashioned brown mahogany wood feel because they were trying to recreate it as a museum. And as we passed by the staircase, I remember telling my friend next to me, I just want to walk past it because the feeling of it is just so like creepy to me. Like it just was like, oh, I don't want to like stand near to it for too long. And I picked up some stuff. My parents paid for it, and I was out of there. I didn't want to see nothing else. Like once I saw the faces of people and they were talking about how, the actual story of Jack and Rose is not, entirely accurate or even real, and they based it upon different people's experiences. That's, if people didn't know that, that's actually what it was. It wasn't, Rose didn't actually exist. The actual name Rose, played by Kate Winslet, didn't even really exist. So when you go to these, Titanic exhibition museums, like, the truth comes out. They tell you like women and children, you hear audio, and it's just tearing. It's scary. It's eerie. It's very eerie. So, can they find the bodies? I sure hope so. If not of all of them, I hope if they, at least, for the mother of a teenager, that would be pretty beautiful if they could find the body for the mom, at least. Something that, they can put together for the funeral, an actual proper burial or cremation or whatever the hell they decide to do. Most likely probably, I'm thinking a burial after the trauma they've been through. I don't think they want to put them in fire. Or who knows, maybe they want to do cremation. I don't know. But I'm just kind of thinking of what typical families would do of people that didn't survive. I'm assuming they'd want to have a proper funeral, like a going home, service, with a casket. You know what I'm saying? If you just go straight to cremation or whatever, or even, past the autopsy, past all that, if they're even going to get a full body, I mean, there's probably so much that goes into it. I mean, once they actually, if they even retrieve any bodies, they're going to have to examine, I'm sure, right? Like if it's mostly intact, but just has maybe some cut limbs or whatever. But then, of course, another crazy, scary, ridiculously sad thought is, what if there's animals that already ate them? My mom was actually saying, well, they're probably already eaten by now. And I'm just like, my God, you know, that's like the last thing I want to think about is no bodies, nothing for the family. Like, it's awful. So, to all those people who paid to go down there, especially the Hollywood bigwigs who talk about, it's a fun experience and all this BS. Like, don't go back down there. If somebody come up, if some other billionaire, some other crazy company CEO tries to duplicate this, just don't go down there, please. Like, I don't know, like, why don't we just leave the ocean alone? Why don't we just leave the Titanic alone? And now the Titan alone. Why don't we just call this a day, right? So hopefully somebody will not try to follow in another tragedy in relation to the Titanic's footsteps. Hopefully they can just kind of just stop all this nonsense and respect the dead, respect the new dead, and just stop trying to go where we're really not supposed to go. Not scientifically, not morally. A lot of people, a lot of survivors have linked the actual crashing and residue of the Titanic as a grave site. They don't just call it, an exhibition or whatever. They call it a grave site. And that's what stood out to me in the accounts I heard from, looking at footage of people who did survive. And they were describing it, especially with the fathers they lost. Different women lost their father, lost their husband, or lost their friend's husband, wasn't able to get on the boat, because obviously the call was for women and children only, children and women first. That was like the protocol. And gentlemen, like, save the children, save the mothers, because, save them first. They have to go first. And they described it as a grave site. So now I feel like with the Titan also going down nearby, as they've said in this account here, it needs to be left alone. I don't think anybody should go back down there. I don't think any more drones, none of that. Like, just like people that have a crazy amount of money and they want to explore, well, don't explore over there. Let's just call it a day now, okay? Thank you all for watching. I'm so happy I was able to even share my own personal experience of when I was actually a preteen and I went to, this, and it was huge. I mean, there was so many parts. There was an outside, there was an eating area, there was like restaurants that was built in, like there was other rooms where they had a mock thing of the iceberg, and it was like very interactive. It was really, really just chilling. And I think even from yesterday, I remembered that experience, but I didn't really feel like it was the time to bring that up until obviously the press conference. And now that the press conference has been had, we can talk about what we have to look forward to, and that's for these families to get, hopefully, by a miracle, these bodies back, to respect the dead, to send them back home, metaphorically speaking, spiritually speaking, and to pay respects, So thank you all for watching. Yeah, this is sad. I can't even say it. It's so sad. It's so crazy. RIP to the lives lost. And I hope that in rescuing and whatever else they're going to do, I hope nobody else dies with them. I hope that they're able to get what they need to get with these machines or whatever, these drones, and get the hell out of there. You know, don't go back down near the Titanic. Leave the Titanic alone. Love y'all. Thank you for watching. Prayers, condolences, and only good vibes to those who are connected to these people that perished. And you know, I think it's just going to be a reminder to humanity that, you know, you can have all the money in the world, but you can't buy oxygen. You know, you can't buy time. And with the oxygen and the time and the love that we have, we got to make the most of it. And we got to be wise in our decisions, and we got to be careful, because one mistake can cost you, you know. And I'm sure now, wherever the hell they are, spiritually speaking, let's say if they believed in God and they're talking to God, I'm sure they're telling God how stupid they feel, you know, and how sad they feel that they know that they're never going to be able to come back and see their loved ones, you know. All the NDE stories, all the stories of the after, you know, people dying, coming back. I mean, all the stories pretty line up, you know, and it's just remarkable to think that not only are they going to have their own, you know, so-called afterlife experience, but then they're also, I'm probably sure, going to probably see people from the Titanic, you know. I mean, may sound a little creepy, but, you know, a part of me thinks that, you know, maybe they could have, maybe a couple ghosts of the Titanic probably could have appeared to them, you know, could have talked to them and told them about what they felt when they went down with the ship. And now it's like that area in the sea is forever going to be marked as a tragedy. And it's also, I was also realizing how creepy it is to think that there's cruise ships that pass by the location of where it drowned, where it drowned. I don't think people even are keeping that into account, that people are flying planes and having boats and cruise ships and military operations and stuff like right over it. That's creepy. You know, I don't think that I have you know, I don't think of recent at all I've ever had a trip where I'm crossing over where the Titanic sunk. I've always gone West Coast or Europe, but the route I've never really seen specifically in that region, unless with Europe I just didn't realize. But now seeing the map and everything, I'm like, oh, that's a creepy feeling to know that, you know, if you take a cruise ship somewhere like to the northern area, because it was near New York, you know, you're gonna, whether you know it or not, you're crossing over dead people. You're crossing over a haunted area, a cursed area. And that's what I'm thinking about now. It's like, man, this is not a good season for these people to be exploring. You know, let's just stop the exploring. Like all these big wigs, people go on vacation, like stay away from that area, because to me, it's bad luck. You know what I'm saying? Now it's really bad luck. Like first it's Titanic, now it's the Titan. Like give it up, you know? Like they should create something where people don't have to like directly, because that's just like it's a curse, you know. It's like it's negative energy. But anyway, just wanted to add that because that was a part that I was going to bring up earlier, and I couldn't find a place to place it. So yeah, that crossed my mind yesterday night. It was like I was looking at the map. I'm like, oh shit, people that travel or go on boats right over that don't even know that they've literally probably been in the same spot of the Titanic. Like that is some creepy shit. And I don't ever want to travel over that, because that shit is cursed, obviously. So love y'all. I'm getting off here, okay?